Now let's go to long questions. Question number 1. How was Gandhi's headmaster? Mr. Dorabji Edulji Gimi was the headmaster. He was a strict disciplinarian, a man of method, and a good teacher. He wanted to see all round development in the students. So he made gymnastics and cricket compulsory for the boys of upper standard. He personally looked after that the students took interest and participated in physical exercise. Question 2. How was Gandhi as a student? Gandhi was not a brilliant student but an average one. He was good at English, weak in geography, and average in arithmetic. He never took credit of his achievement but considered them as the fruits of his good luck. During his student career, he was concerned about building his character. The thing that he neglected during his student career was physical exercise and good handwriting. For him, these had nothing to do with education. At the later stage of his life, he repented for these neglects. Question 3. What do you know about Gandhi's Sanskrit and Persian teachers? Both the Sanskrit and Persian teachers were different in their attitude and process of teaching. According to Gandhi, Sanskrit was tough as everything had to be memorized. On the other hand, the Sanskrit teacher was a hard taskmaster and very strict. But the Persian teacher was lenient and considerate. His method of teaching was easy. There was a rivalry going on between the Sanskrit and the Persian teacher. Question 4. What was Gandhi's attitude towards sports and handwriting? During his school days, Gandhi was of the opinion that sports and physical training and good handwriting was not an essential part of education. So he neglected these. But when he went to South Africa, he saw the lawyers and educated men and women writing a beautiful hand. Gandhi felt ashamed of himself. Only then did he realize his neglect. He had advised the children should first be taught to draw objects. After that, they must be taught to write. Question 5. How was Gandhi in studies? Gandhi was an average student. He was good at English, weak in geography, but fair in arithmetic. He did not have any regard for his ability, but used to be surprised when he won prizes or scholarships. He received scholarships of rupees 4 in the 5th standard and rupees 10 in the 6th. He always gave all the credit of his achievement to his good luck than his ability. He was always cautious about building a good character. Why was Gandhi fined? Gandhi had a dislike for games and sports. One Saturday, the boys were asked to come at 4 p.m. But Gandhi was late. As Gandhi didn't possess a watch, he could not know the time. The weather being cloudy, he was deceived by the clouds. When he reached the school, the boys had left. The next day, Mr. Gimi, examining the roll, found Gandhi marked absent. Gandhi told the reason, but the headmaster didn't believe and ordered Gandhi to pay a fine. Question 7. What are the two neglects Gandhi mentions? When did he repent for these? His two neglects were physical training and good handwriting. When he was a student, he neglected physical exercise and handwriting. He was of the opinion that these were not essential part of education. But later on, when he went to South Africa, he saw the lawyers and the literate mass writing a beautiful hand. He felt ashamed of himself and realized neglecting his handwriting. He emphasized on good handwriting in school. He said, a bad handwriting is a sign of imperfect education. Question 8. How did Gandhi come to take interest in Sanskrit? Sanskrit is a tough subject where everything has to be memorized or learnt by heart. But this was too difficult for Gandhi. The Sanskrit teacher was a hard taskmaster. When he entered standard 6th, Gandhi was disheartened. There was a sort of rivalry going on between the Sanskrit and the Persian teacher. The Persian teacher was lenient and considerate. His method of teaching was good and easy. The easiness tempted Gandhi, and one day he sat in the Persian class. This grieved the Sanskrit teacher. He called Gandhi and explained to him and encouraged him to learn Sanskrit. He also assured that Sanskrit would become easier as he continued. The Sanskrit teacher's kind and affectionate words put Gandhi to shame, and he took interest in Sanskrit. In later stage of life, Gandhi understood the value of Sanskrit and was grateful to the teacher. Well children, let's begin with textual questions. Question number 1. What is a biography? What is an autobiography? Autobiography is a story of a person's life written by himself. Biography is a story of a person's life written by some other person. Question 2. Is this lesson a biography or an autobiography? Support your answer with reasons. This lesson is an autobiography, an extract from Gandhi's autobiography, My Experiments with Truth. Here Gandhi describes his experience about his early school days. Question 3. Was Gandhi good at studies? How will you support your answer? Gandhi was an average student and not a brilliant one. His progress report was satisfactory. He won scholarships in 5th and 6th standard. He was good at English but weak in geography and average in arithmetic. When he won prizes or scholarship, he thanked his good luck more than his ability. All these indicate he was an average student. Question 4. Did his teachers like him? Yes, he was very much liked by his teachers because he was sincere and truthful and had respect for his teachers. Question 5. What sort of certificates were sent to his parents? The school sent certificates of progress and character to his parents annually. He never had a bad certificate. Question 6. When did he win prizes and scholarships? He won prizes after he passed out of the 2nd standard and won scholarships in 5th and 6th standard. Question 7. What were the amount of scholarship? In 5th standard he got 4 rupees and 10 rupees in 6th standard. What do you know about Gandhi as a person in the first paragraph? In the first paragraph, we know that Gandhi was humble and had a good character and average in studies. Question 9. What was he very much careful about? He was very much careful about his character. Question 10. How did he react when he was blamed? Whenever he was blamed, he became tearful. He could not take the slightest blame on his character. Question 11. What was important for Gandhi, winning prizes or building character? Character building was more important for Gandhi. Question 12. Who was the headmaster? Mr. Dorabji Edulji Gimi was the headmaster. Question 13. Was he popular? Why? Gimi was popular among the students. He was a strict disciplinarian, a man of method, and a good teacher. Question 14. What was made compulsory for the boys of upper standard? Gymnastics and cricket was made compulsory for the boys of upper standard. Question 15. I dislike both. Both refers to both refers to gymnastics and cricket. Question 16. What was the reason for Gandhi's dislike for cricket and gymnastics? He disliked physical exercise and never took part in it. He believed physical exercise has nothing to do with the education. He was shy and so he never took part in games. He even disliked physical exercise like cricket, gymnastics before they were made compulsory. Question 17. What false idea did Gandhi have about games? Gandhi had a false notion that games and sports had nothing to do with education. Question 18. What was the special reason for Gandhi's dislike for gymnastics? The main reason why Gandhi disliked gymnastics was his keen desire to serve his father after school. Question 19. Compulsory exercise came directly in the way of his service. What was the service? Service refers to the keen interest to serve his father. Question 20. Did the headmaster grant his request? Why? The headmaster did not grant Gandhi's request. He thought Gandhi was lying. He wanted to escape the physical training. Question 21. Why did he get to late? Why did he get to school late? One Saturday, the physical training was held at 4 p.m. The sky was overcast and Gandhi had no watch so he couldn't know the time. Question 22. Did the headmaster believe him? What he did? What did he do? The next day, when Gandhi told the cause of his absence to the headmaster, he didn't believe him and fined him an anna or two. What was Gandhi accused of? Gandhi was accused of lying, which pained him very much. Question 24. What lesson did he learn from it? Gandhi learned that a man of truth must also be a man of care. Question 25. How was he exempted from paying the fine? Gandhi says after his father wrote a letter to the headmaster, he was exempted of the fine. Question 26. What was Gandhi's idea about handwriting? Gandhi talks about his ignorance about handwriting. He was of the opinion that good handwriting was not an essential part of education. Question 27. When and where did he realize his idea was wrong? He had a notion that good handwriting was not a necessary part of education. But when he went to South Africa, he saw the lawyers and the young mas writing a beautiful hand. He was ashamed of himself. Question 28. What were his views on handwriting? Later on, he understood that handwriting is a necessary part of education and opined that a child should be taught to draw objects before learning to write. Question 29. What was his advice to the young men and women? He advised that every child should be taught to draw objects. After that, he should be taught how to write. He concluded that bad handwriting is the sign of incomplete education. Question 30. Why did Gandhi consider Sanskrit harder than geometry? In geometry, there was nothing to memorize, while in Sanskrit, everything has to be memorized, which was difficult for him. Question 31. Which class was Sanskrit introduced in? Sanskrit was introduced in 4th standard. Question 32. What did Gandhi say about the Sanskrit and Persian teachers? Gandhi said that Sanskrit teacher was a hard taskmaster while the Persian teacher was lenient and considerate. Question 33. Were they on good terms? Quote the sentence from your text in support of your answer. No, they were not on good terms. The sentence is there was a sort of rivalry going on between the Sanskrit and Persian teacher. Question 34. What tempted Gandhi to sit in the Persian class? The easiness of Persian language tempted him to sit in the Persian class. 35. How did Sanskrit teacher feel about it? The Sanskrit teacher was grieved when he came to know that Gandhi was sitting in the Persian class. Question 36. Why did he think it necessary for Gandhi to study Sanskrit? Gandhi was born in a Vaishnav family and Sanskrit was the language of his own religion. So he thought that it was necessary for Gandhi to learn Sanskrit. Question 37. Did Gandhi come back to sit in the Sanskrit class? Why? Gandhi came back to Sanskrit class because the teacher's kindness put him to shame and he could not disregard his affection. Question 38. Who was his Sanskrit teacher? Mr. Krishna Shankar Pandey was his Sanskrit teacher. Question 39. How did the study of Sanskrit help him later? His study of Sanskrit helped him in studying and understanding the scriptures and the sacred books of Hindu religion. Question 40. What feelings did Gandhi have for his teachers? Gandhi had deep love and respect for his teachers. He expressed his gratitude for his teachers.